Okay. Welcome, everybody, to This Is Reviewable. Micah and Braden, where we review stuff. Today, this week, we have a guest that we've had on before, Armando.
It is I, Armando.
Braden's cousin.
Returning from your previous favorite episode.
That's right. That was the episode where we talked about 500 Days of Summer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. So if you remember that episode, it's the same guest.
Are you going to insert, clapping right there?
Sure.
Yay!
No, why not?
I hear the audience clapping. They're overjoyed.
Yeah, the live studio audience.
Yeah. Of my character in Bloodborne.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to know what I named him?
Sure.
Because I can't remember, actually. How do you see it?
Hit start.
Which one is start?
That one.
This one?
And click your little character thing. The one that looks like a dude. You have to use the D-pad.
Uh-huh.
It's like you've never played a
I
video
know,
game before.
seriously.
Oh, yeah. His name is Widow's Lepeak. Because the default character had a massive widow's peak.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Nice.
Okay, anyways. So, last night we went and watched Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine
Yeah.
is what it's called. But Deadpool 3 is acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah. Should I read the synopsis? I pulled
Yes.
it up.
Yes, please do.
All right. Deadpool's peaceful existence comes crashing down when the Time Variance Authority recruits him to help safeguard the multiverse. He soon unites with his would-be pal Wolverine to complete the mission and save his world from an existential threat. Right. But the plot's not really that important, is it? I mean, it kind of is. But it's a Deadpool movie. You don't really come for the...
That's not why you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come for the rude jokes and the bloody violence and the fourth wall breaking antics. And if you come to this one, you come for the Wolverine team up. That's why you come.
That's why you come.
All right, so what did we think about this? Should we go in a circle? Talk about our feelings?
Sure.
Sharing time.
Okay.
Where's
Micah, do
the
you want to
talking
kick us
stick?
off?
No.
Do you want the talking stick?
No.
Do I need to give you a puppet?
So I can talk about my feelings
Yeah.
safely.
And you can show me on the puppet where the movie touched you. I don't know if this is going to be a spicy take, but I think we all agree this movie's just okay.
I thought you were supposed to say stuff you liked.
Okay. What did I like? I mean, if you liked the first two Deadpools, you're probably going to like this, as long as you haven't soured on Marvel. But, I have definitely soured on Marvel. When I watched the first two Deadpools, I was in a much more pro-Marvel era of my life. So I was willing to, I don't know, look past flaws and contrivances and things that didn't make sense to me and just have a good time. But now I'm less willing to do that, so I didn't enjoy this as much. That's all I've got to say.
Okay, so you didn't like anything.
So I guess what I'm saying is what I liked is it still made me laugh. I was laughing. I'll say laughing throughout the movie because I did laugh at parts that happened at the beginning and parts that happened in the middle and parts that happened at the end. So it kept me entertained enough throughout the movie. It's good to see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, I guess. That was fun. There's some cameos in this movie that are fun. There's a ton of cameos in this movie.
Yeah.
Right, Micah?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Armando said yeah.
There's a ton.
Do you need everybody to agree with you?
I need you guys to chip in.
It's your turn.
It's just you. Yeah.
You
You
telling
have the
us.
talking stick.
Recently Ryan Reynolds has been annoying me a lot because he's literally everywhere. And I'm really sick of seeing his Mint Mobile advertisements.
Okay, but that's also because you're exclusively on YouTube.
Yeah, I do a lot
So
of YouTube.
of course you're gonna see all of his ads.
It's like every 2 minutes of a video. Hi there, Ryan Reynolds here with my Mint Mobile advertisement.
Careful, we're gonna get copyrighted.
I'm just like, okay, enough. And then he's been in so many movies recently too, and he just plays himself in every single movie. I'm just kind of tired of the whole like Deadpool persona. It was very novel and fun when Deadpool first came out, but he's just been doing it for everything ever since Deadpool came out, and I'm getting a little tired of it. So anyway, what I liked, but okay, there was a purpose for that. I thought that was gonna really grate on me, but within the context of watching a Deadpool movie, it didn't really bother me. I thought he was funny. You know. Yeah, he made me laugh. Him being Deadpool didn't really bother me like I thought it was going to be. So, him, Hugh Jackman, made me laugh. That's what I liked about it. What did you like about it?
Yeah, it had funny moments. And, like, the acting was fine. I didn't love the script. It's just not my vibe. That's it. What else did I even like?
Wow. You loved the action.
No, I did not.
The intense violence.
Yeah. Micah doesn't like really violent movies, do you?
No.
And we were like, yeah, maybe it'll be okay. Because you watched District 9.
Yeah, but how many times do I have to tell you this? I disassociated from that because they were aliens.
Yeah.
And so it was fine because they were aliens.
So
violence is okay as long as I don't consider them people.
Well, no. Because
from this planet, don't say it like that.
But that doesn't make sense to me though, because in District 9 there are aliens, but
some of it I did look away.
The humans are getting blown up too.
Right, I looked away.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Take it away.
Armando, what did you like?
Great. It sounds like we're off to a rip-rolling start. Everybody really loved this movie. So many good things to say about it. I'm glad I can fill this time. I thought it was funny. I liked the opening sequence. I don't want to like spoil things for people, but the
opening sequence is fine.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know what the opening sequence is at this point.
I stayed away from it. I had no idea. So,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, he does Deadpool he kills a bunch of people choreographed to music, and it's really funny. So
yeah.
So in sync.
Yeah.
Which makes it even funnier.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. But I thought the movie overall was funny, and unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of good things to say about it either. That's kind of it. Yeah, it was funny. Violence is cool and all, but
it was over the top.
Yeah, it's just
and, like, I understand that that's like his shtick, but like after an hour, it's boring, and then you still have another hour of it just being super fun. That's just my opinion.
Well, I think I'm okay with the violence. It's part of Deadpool's whole shtick, like you say, but it's because it was the same people fighting over and over again. Like, it was the same, like, 2 or 3 people always getting into it, never having anything get resolved. I'm like, okay, we can move on from this. I'm okay to move to the next part.
Yeah.
Because, like, the fight sequence before they go to finish the movie, right? They get their little team together. I liked that. They invaded that little base or whatever. I thought that was cool. But it's because it's new people fighting, new fighting styles, and there's like an end to it. There's a resolution.
Yeah. So you didn't like all the times that Wolverine and Deadpool got started fighting each other?
The first time was cool.
Yeah.
But and actually, okay, the Honda Odyssey was funny.
I liked that part. Yeah. I liked the Honda Odyssey fight.
Yeah, that was good. But otherwise, like, every other time, it's like, okay, I get it. You're gonna fight, and nothing's gonna change. I got it. So it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sick of the TVA stuff. I didn't even finish Loki season 2. Like, when we
watched that one.
Yeah, once they like dropped that at the beginning of this movie, I was like,
oh my god,
I'm kind of.
You just can't write it that well. There's too many things going on.
There's too many plot holes.
Yes. And it's just boring.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you need to follow the sacred timeline. Okay, well, you're deciding that it's sacred.
Yeah. Like, what is that?
This is just the course of my life or whatever. These are the decisions that it's just stupid.
That's how it goes each time that they introduce the TVA into whatever movie or TV show.
Yes.
It's somebody says, sacred timeline, you need to follow it. Our main character goes, F that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My timeline.
Well, should we complain about the TVA now? Because I have some notes about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing was, so the main, are we going to spoil plot points?
No. Not until the end.
Dang it.
Nothing major.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to have to circle back to that. Yeah, I agree though. Like it just ruins the ability to tell like self-contained stories. I feel like having all these timelines and making it a multiverse thing, and like the reason that I liked Deadpool 1 and 2 is because they were still satisfying narratively. Because in the first one, he's trying to get his girlfriend back, and that's like a small story that has a payoff, and it feels, it's not like a world-ending thing, but like he's able to save his girlfriend at the end, and it feels satisfying. And then in the second one, he's trying to save this kid from becoming an evil psychopath in the future, and it's about him saving a kid, and that's like a small story, and they tell it well enough. This one, it's just like, it's too big. You see what I'm saying?
You thought that the story in this was too big because of the TVA?
Yeah.
Like the stakes are too high for Deadpool.
Well, yeah.
Or like
I
for
guess
his character persona. Yeah. I don't know a ton about him in comics and stuff, but the things that I do know is that like that whole thing about him trying to join the Avengers in the beginning, it's not like a spoiler to anyway, people know that that's like a thing that he tried to do. And he was a part of them at one point, comic book wise, but like as a sub in. And he never took it seriously, didn't really care about being there. Like, it's kind of weird getting, I guess, the depth of his character about wanting to matter, because at least, like I said, limited knowledge. I never like saw him as a character that we wanted to get invested in his version of why he matters. And that really felt like it was the theme of this whole movie. Like everything else aside, it was, I'm Deadpool, I want to matter, and I have to do something that matters. And that's all he was seeking the whole time.
As if what he didn't do in the first two movies,
didn't matter at all.
Yeah. I never got that impression that he felt like he didn't matter in the first two movies.
Yeah.
So it did feel kind of like manufactured just for this movie, that he's feeling this way. And also the end, okay, I need to just write this down so I don't forget. Go ahead, Micah, say something.
Something.
Gubernatorial. That was a funny joke. I liked that joke. Like, there are funny jokes in this movie, and like,
I'll give it that. There were funny jokes.
What they're doing is it's like the whole Airplane style of comedy, where they're just throwing jokes at you nonstop from start to finish. Like, some of them are gonna have to land, of course.
Yeah.
Like, so it makes you laugh.
I don't know. I just felt like it was too much, though. Too many jokes, too many references. Breaking the fourth wall in movies is so hard to do well, and at times I didn't love it.
Yeah. It does it well a decent amount of times.
Like the time when he, head smashes the camera, like that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like they could have toned this movie down 50%, and I would have liked it 50% more, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. It was just too much for me.
I actually agree with that. The fourth wall breaks are cool for his character. I don't want everybody to be able to do it, but I was sitting in the theater, and I think we got to the point towards the end of the movie where that other Deadpool variant broke the fourth wall. I was like, okay, That's
Oh,
I'm done.
The nice pool.
Yeah, nice pool. And I was like, okay, I'm good. We don't need. He does it enough. I don't need a bunch of other Deadpools to do it. He did it too many times. Yeah.
I think that some of the choreography is good for the action as well. We talked about the minivan fight. I liked that.
That was really good.
Like there were some fights that were really just like the first time he fights Wolverine is cool. The NSYNC music video is really Micah didn't like it because it's over the top violent, but
it's a funny idea.
Yeah, and it's choreographed pretty well.
What do you mean? They just took the choreograph? Like, are you talking about the fighting,
like
or
the fight choreography?
So he just lifted that dance.
The dance from the music video, right? I know, but
okay.
But yeah, I mean the action is good. Like it's better than most Marvel action.
Yeah,
easily better than most Marvel action.
What did you think of them making so many references about Marvel and Disney?
I didn't mind it terribly.
I was okay with that.
Yeah, okay. I liked that he's calling himself Marvel Jesus, because like it really does feel like they're treating him that way, because like all the Marvel projects that have come out in recent years pretty much have been mediocre at best, and they're losing money, they're losing popularity, so it felt like this movie was it needed to be the Marvel Jesus. So that's funny that he's calling himself that. It's very meta, but it's kind of true.
Yeah, Deadpool is for sure carrying the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the last Marvel movie that I saw, but besides Deadpool.
Yeah.
And they're just not good. I don't know if they don't have the kind of budget that they had previously, or like different writers, or what's going on, but they just flop. And like, as much as I thought this movie was kind of a little bit above average, I'd say it's still better than everything else that's been put out in recent years.
Yeah, you got to give them credit where it's due. It's, if you compare it to the rest of Marvel, recent Marvel, it's much better. Although, to be fair, we haven't seen very much recent Marvel just because we're so tired of it. But I don't remember the last time a Marvel property had so much buzz around it. I guess like the Spider-Man movie was the last time, which was how long ago?
2 years.
Yeah, 2, 3.
Yeah, the last animated Spider-Man movie.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
That one was still at least a year ago.
But that one doesn't count. That's Sony.
Yeah.
So like the last Marvel, the cinematic universe.
Yeah, the one with Tobey Maguire and
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. I did like that movie, but that was probably the last Marvel movie that I really enjoyed before this one.
Yeah.
So,
and like everybody's excited about this one.
Yeah.
When like, since apart from Spider-Man, I can't remember the last time people wholesale were really excited about a Marvel thing that was coming out.
Okay, should we rate it? Do you have anything else you want to say that's not spoilery?
Just I thought it was too long, and some of the cameos they did, they really
how long is it?
Butchered.
It's 2 hours and 7 minutes.
They butchered people with the cameos.
So yeah, like
okay. Well, we should save it.
Should save it.
Yeah, if you're gonna say the specific cameo.
The one that we talked about last time.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You should save that until spoiler.
Yeah. Okay.
Spoiler time.
What would you rate it, Braden?
I mean, I had enough fun with it that I would be willing to go as high as a 7, personally. But it definitely is not, like, I've heard people give this like 10 out of 10s and 9 out of 10s, and I just don't agree with that. I don't think it's nearly strong enough by itself as a movie without all the like member-berry moments, where people are like, oh, it's that guy. Oh, it's that guy. Like, it feels very much. I'm glad you brought up the Spider-Man movie. That's a good thing to compare it to, because like on its own, the Spider-Man movie is sort of the same way. Like, if you didn't watch the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies or the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, and you just saw that movie in a vacuum, you'd be like, this is fine. it really leans heavily on you being able to recognize the jokes they're making, the meta jokes they're making about what's going on with Marvel in the real world. And it really relies on you having heard all the rumors about maybe this guy is going to play this character one day, or this girl is going to play this character one day. And it also relies on you having seen literally every X-Men / other Marvel properties. I'm not going to spoil it. It relies a lot on that kind of stuff. And it's fun if you get those jokes and you get those references. But in a vacuum, it's like a 7. That's how I feel about it. A 7 maximum efforts out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it probably 180 bones out of 207. Which is probably right around a 7.
180 out of 207?
Yeah, there are 206 bones in the human body. Sometimes 207. You'll have to watch the movie.
That's an 87%.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do math.
You just gave it an 8.7.
All right, drop it a little bit. Whatever.
What percentage are we getting down to?
We're trying to get to like 70, 72.
70. Okay, let's give it 72%. So, how many bones are there?
107.
207.
Oh, yeah. That's what I said.
So 0.72 is equal to x over 207.
Why are we doing algebra?
Just do 207 times 72%.
Times 0.72.
Yeah, 149.
There you go. 149 bones out of 207. We'll go with that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Micah?
This is not the type of movie that I enjoy. I didn't want to go see this.
Yeah, you kind of got roped into it.
Which is fine. I'll only hold a grudge about this for the rest of my life. Watching the movie, I wanted to rate this a 6.5. But after we went to bed last night, I did not think about this movie once. Mm-hmm. Woke up I'm going to rate this a 5.5. I will never watch this movie again. It's not the type of movie, I like stupid humor stuff, but not when it's just constantly being thrown in your face. So, I'm going to rate this 5.5. What's the dog's name from The Last Wish or whatever?
The Last Wish. I'm thinking of The Witcher when you say The Last Wish.
5.5 Puritos out of 10.
Oh, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Okay.
Yeah, okay, you better cut that.
Okay.
It was just a little Easter egg.
No, I'm not going to cut it. All right. Everything here on end could be a spoiler. So, you've been warned. If you don't want to be spoiled, then just skip to the next talking point. There will be timestamps in the YouTube video.
I don't know how to do that.
What?
Timestamps on
Spotify?
Yeah.
Do they even exist?
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
You don't think that you just say where to skip to if you know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't at this point, and I'm not going to splice in and edit later. So, all right.
Why does that look like it's throwing up the middle finger for the...
I've never noticed that before.
That's all I've been looking at.
Wow. Now,
it does.
Now, every time I look at it.
That's an Avatar thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that the Earth?
That's the Earth Kingdom is giving you the bird at all times.
Or maybe it's a thumbs up.
No.
It's too centered. No.
Yeah.
It's
right
not,
in the middle.
It's not salvageable.
My word, that is a very straight...
Maybe I can find a picture of that and put it on the video so they know what we're talking about.
Okay, so spoilers. Sorry, everybody.
Does anyone want to start? Anyone got something on their mind that they just need?
Yeah, say your cameo.
That's it. Yeah, thinking about the Channing Tatum as the Gambit in this movie, did not like it. I thought he looked ridiculous.
He really did.
My words carefully. Yeah.
Well, that's his costume though in the comics, right?
It is, but you see, at least I don't think he's ever gotten a live action appearance before. He has
Gambit, the character. Yeah.
Okay.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Did you look that up?
I do not.
No, I've actually seen that movie long time ago.
It's been so long. I do not remember that.
It's not a good movie. Widely regarded as actually one of the worst
ones.
Yeah.
Oh, I just that is his costume, but
it's funny actually. That was Deadpool's first appearance in a movie as well.
Yeah,
that's the one where they stitch his mouth shut, and they show it a bunch of times in this movie. Like they flash it back. They close his mouth in that movie, and swords can come out of his hands like Wolverine claws, but they're swords. Do you remember? Okay, anyway. Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous and dumb, and everybody hated it. And they've made a joke about it in every Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
So,
but Gambit was in that movie also.
Yeah.
You couldn't understand what he was saying.
No, you couldn't understand anything.
I don't understand his superpower. He throws cards at people, and then he whispers into his sword and says "boom," and then they explode. That doesn't make any sense. That's so stupid.
He whispers into his sword. Name of your sex tape.
Armando's been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. No, it doesn't make any sense. And then, when he did that cool shuffling thing where his hands are spread all the way apart, and they do the shuffling, and they're glowing.
Yeah,
his superpower doesn't make any sense to me.
It's his choice to use the cards, but in reality, he can energize anything, and then cause it to explode on command.
Okay, because he only has 52 chances to hit people and have his cards explode?
I guess.
Well, I mean, if you're going to energize something and, basically be able to throw missiles, that's a pretty... they're small. You can pack them in tight.
I guess, but...
You can carry multiple packs of cards with you around.
I guess.
I mean, what else would you choose? Toothpicks, maybe?
I don't know.
Actually, that would be more efficient because there's
pretty good, actually.
There's probably freaking hundreds of toothpicks in a little toothpick pack.
But toothpicks aren't quiet.
And then they rattle around. Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
You could use Tic Tacs.
Tic Tacs.
We're walking in like a gosh dang maraca.
So you didn't like how French he was. You don't like the French.
Is that what his accent was supposed to be?
I don't like the French. Put that on record.
Oh shit.
No.
Because his name is Remy LeBeau.
Oh, I thought he was Jamaican.
No,
he sure sounded like it at the time.
His accent.
Yeah. It was all over the place. He sounded Scottish at one point, Jamaican at another. He was way over the top French, Creole French. It was
maybe
nuts.
Maybe he's supposed to be. I don't know.
That is what it is.
It could be.
Let's see. He's Cajun from New Orleans. Okay, so he was doing that right then.
So it makes sense, yeah. And it's funny for the movie. Is in no other appearance, even in the animated series back in the early 90s, he did not sound like that.
He just sounded normal.
Just like a normal English speaker.
Yeah.
Because you can't understand him if he's speaking some kind of Cajun Creole.
It's a bummer that... I don't know. Yeah, anyways. His cameo didn't bother me that much, honestly.
I don't know. I just felt like it did the character injustice. And yeah, it's his original costume.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it was just because it was Channing Tatum. It looked
Do you not like
ridiculous.
Channing Tatum?
I don't really like Channing Tatum.
No, I like him.
So
really,
yeah.
What's that movie? Hail Caesar.
He's so funny in that.
Right at the end or something.
And he's in Logan Lucky as well. That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get 21 Jump Street.
Oh, you don't? Oh,
you don't like 21 Jump Street?
No, they're funny, and he's good in that movie.
But that's the only role you can
But that's all I can think of him as. Yeah.
Have you seen Step It Up?
Oh my god.
A dance movie?
Yeah. One time I was house sitting for someone and they had cable TV and we didn't, and that was on TV, and I was like, yes! And I stayed at their house for hours watching that.
Right, how long's the movie?
Well, they had the next one on.
Okay.
That's right. The whole anthology playing that day.
Yeah.
Okay, so no on Gambit from Armando.
I was not a huge fan of that.
Should we talk about all the cameos?
That would take a while.
The one that I was like, whoa, was the Henry Cavill as Wolverine. I was like, oh, that could be cool.
I could see that.
Yeah. But then I remembered I don't really care that much about Marvel, and even if it did happen, I probably wouldn't be that into it. Which is kind of it's a sad place to be. That would have excited me maybe 5 years ago or more. But now it just kind of doesn't. Because I'm dead inside towards Marvel.
It's just unrelated to Marvel, but
in addition to, it gets worse when we're talking about Marvel.
Yeah, get more dead.
Yeah, if Disney took a step back for like a year or two, didn't put out any Marvel projects, I'd be a lot more open to.
I feel like people wouldn't miss it.
Well, they need to get rid of this stupid multiverse shit. I'm so sick of that. Just start telling self-contained stories again.
Yeah,
like you can tie them together too. I'm fine with that also. Here and there.
Yeah.
But don't make that the focus of your movie to like set up for the next movie. Just feels like a freaking pipeline of just sludge.
Well, it just becomes a waste of time, and then you have to watch everything to understand the latest movie. And what's the point of that? Because there's so many movies.
Yeah.
At that point, just create a TV show and only do a TV show because that's what you want.
Right.
I don't know.
I wonder what is the higher return on
movies. Probably
movies. You think? Micah, do you have something you want to say?
About what?
Something you didn't like. We're taking turns.
Oh. It's just what I always don't like. Just, it's too violent. It's just what I already said.
Okay.
I don't know.
Armando, you've seen Logan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that all the mutants were dead in the Logan timeline.
Pretty nearly.
Because like they painted the world as having, it's like almost post-apocalyptic a little bit.
Yeah. If I remember from during that movie, it is kind of at that point. Like Charles Xavier is almost dead. All of the mutants that they do know are in hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, because the humans are hunting them. They are actively hunting them to extinction at that point. So
right.
Anybody who's still alive is...
Yeah, and that's why it's such a big deal that they're saving those kids.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole little flock of new mutant kids that he's trying to get across the border to a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
So in this timeline, that they confirm that Deadpool is in the same timeline.
Yeah.
Because he goes to Logan's grave and digs him up.
Mm-hmm.
Where was Deadpool during Logan?
What's the overlap on the first movie and Logan? Logan came out before the first movie, right? Or Logan came out.
It came out after the first. Because in the second, I remember this. In the second, he makes a joke at the very beginning, and he says "F Wolverine," riding off the coat, like something about riding off the coattails of the first Deadpool being rated R, and now Logan can do it.
That's right.
And I didn't really mind it at the time because I was in a better place with Marvel. But like the more I think about it, the more I kind of hate that they're in the same universe.
I don't really mind it just because of how like Deadpool's creation and no, I have to retract that because both the first and the second Deadpool movies he makes comments about the other mutants, and in the second movie, right, he goes to Charles Xavier's school, makes a comment about like making cameos for other X-Men, and then they like are shutting the door with the main cast of them in there.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah. And they would have been like dead or on the run at that point. So
so like this is what happens when you do multiverse stories, and just in general when you feel like everything needs to be in a connected universe, is there's things that just don't add up.
Yeah.
And you can't help it. There's no way to write yourself out of that corner.
Can't fix it.
Yeah. But like my big issue is like Logan was one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen.
It was really good.
Like it's in the Dark Knight category because it doesn't feel like a superhero movie. It's a Western, right?
Mm-hmm.
Logan?
Yeah. And it's really good. And the fact that Deadpool also exists in this universe and that causes problems for who's alive during Logan, and then they're digging him up at the end. It just cheapens the end of Logan for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does make a comment about that in the beginning of this Deadpool movie.
Yeah,
he says that exact thing.
He's like, "We're not going to respect it."
Yeah,
yeah,
and I was like, okay. I mean,
yeah. But I still don't like that. Logan for me is easily the best of all the X-Men movies and all the Marvel movies for that matter.
Really? Put it
Yeah,
at the top there.
I don't like another Marvel movie more than I like Logan.
That's fair. I should rewatch.
It doesn't make any sense. I looked it up and it said Logan is set in 2029 in whatever. And then it says that this is Deadpool and Wolverine. It takes place on Earth 10,005.
Yeah.
So is that the name of our that timeline, or is that
it has to be
year?
Because that's the same Logan.
Because then it says takes place in 2024 in X-Men's Earth 10,005.
Well, this movie takes place in 2024. Also.
No, yeah, this
2029
one takes place in 2024, but Logan took place in 2029. So how is he dead? That's what I'm saying.
I see. Yeah,
this is the problem. This is the problem with multiverses and shared universes.
I tried to look up an article explaining what the timeline was, but it was too boring, so I couldn't.
You know that scene in Ocean's 12 when they're like, "How did you get past the laser field?" to the French guy, and then he's literally doing freaking insane yoga and being a ninjaing his way through the moving laser field. That's what you have to do to explain loopholes and problems and contrivances in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. That's what you have to do to explain away all the stuff that doesn't make sense. Yeah. You got to be the French guy from Ocean's 12.
That was such a long reference just to say that.
Also, this could be me not remembering super well. We watched Loki season 1. I thought that powers didn't work in the TVA.
Well, the Infinity Stones or whatever.
Yeah, the Infinity Stones were useless in the TVA, so they were using them as paperweights.
I think the point they were illustrating there was that the Infinity Stones are useless because they're infinite and the TVA is more powerful than the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I understand that was the point, but okay. All right. Anyways. Well, this leads me to my next point. If the TVA is so powerful and it's eternal, right? They're in charge of the timelines. Why does efficiency matter? The whole point of this movie is the main guy, Mr. Darcy, wants to end the...
I was hoping you wouldn't recognize him as that. Of course I don't want it to be ruined.
Freaking... I'm surprised Deadpool didn't make a Mr. Darcy joke.
Or a Succession joke.
Or yeah, now that I think about it.
They play such a weenie in Succession.
Yeah. But this guy wants to end his universe quicker to make, to prove how efficient the TVA can be. But time is irrelevant, right? Because the TVA is eternal. So what's the point of efficiency? That doesn't exist as a concept.
Yeah, I didn't really.
Time needs to be material for efficiency to be material.
Yeah, and they are eternal.
Right.
So there's no reason for them to not be okay with it taking however long it would.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
I'm going to skip some of this other stuff because we're running a little long. The post-credit scene I thought was really funny. What did you guys think of it?
That was so good. Yeah.
Remember?
Mm-mm.
How when they meet Scary Professor X, he tells Scary Professor X all these things that Chris Evans was saying on the way.
That was really funny.
Yeah. And you think he's just talking out of his ass the first time?
Yeah.
And then he plays it back. That's exactly what happened. He's at the end, he's like, "Gotcha, face."
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think my favorite joke, I guess, I don't know, was that dude in the TVA that was calling HR.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite.
That was funny. Yeah, see, this movie's funny. So, that's why I gave it a 7. It's fun. There's not much depth to it, but it's fun, and it's funny. Here's something that kind of bothered me, though, on further inspection.
Please tell us.
So there's a joke that happens. Wolverine cuts off Sabretooth's head And then Deadpool is holding the head up, and he's like, and they're in this like Mad Max inspired,
which didn't make any sense,
wasteland. And he's like, this looks. Anyway, he's like, this looks a little Mad Maxy, but we can't keep making references to it. Otherwise, that's copyright infringement. So, like, they're establishing that they're parodying Mad Max. And he holds up Sabretooth's head, and he's like, and he calls it, he's like, we've killed Furiosa or something like that. And I didn't really, I didn't really get it. So this is if anyone's watching this, can you explain that joke to me? Because the only way that it makes sense to me is the movie Deadpool. He's being meta again, and he's saying that Deadpool versus Wolverine has now killed Furiosa.
The film
Furiosa, because it's raking in all the money now. Furiosa's out of theaters. It's now the biggest rated R on the block. That's the only way that joke makes sense to me, because Furiosa does not die in the Mad Max movies so far. So, like, why was he calling it Furiosa unless he's making that meta joke? And if he's making that meta joke, that's a super tone-deaf joke, in my opinion. Because Furiosa did not make its budget back. And we probably will never see another Mad Max by George Miller in theaters again. And it's like a very well-known thing how difficult those movies have been, like how hard a time they've had getting made. Why would you make that joke? Like, that's you
think it's mean?
Yeah, it's like kicking Mad Max when it's down.
But it doesn't deserve it either.
No. And also it kind of makes me mad because I know that this movie's killing it and it's going to continue to kill it. And Furiosa is much better as a movie.
Did you watch it?
I can't. I've never watched a Mad Max movie, so I can't comment on it.
That's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, I explain that joke. If I'm wrong about what the joke was, then tell me. But it doesn't make sense to me otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have anything else you need to say about it?
Don't take your kids to watch it. Please don't take your kids to watch it. Just because it's a Marvel movie does not mean that it's appropriate for kids.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's very rude.
The violence is fine, but the rudeness? Never.
And it's very violent. You kind of didn't like all the meta stuff.
I said that.
Oh, you already did.
I didn't say those words, but yeah, it's just too much.
There's like, I feel like there's clever meta and then there's not clever meta. Like, for example, there's a Blade cameo in this movie. And back when they were making the Blade movies, when they made the third one, Ryan Reynolds was in the third Blade movie. And Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds did not get along in the filming of that movie. And there's a part where Blade says something like, "I don't like you," or whatever, to Deadpool. And then Ryan Reynolds turns to the camera and he's like, "No, you never have." Like, that's funny meta. Because, like, that's one that is kind of buried under the surface a little bit. And you have to...
But that's, again, what I'm saying is you have to know all the references. You have to watch all the movies, and you have to do your own research. Did you know that there's 34 Marvel movies? I looked that up.
Yeah.
I thought there were more.
There probably is. This article is probably outdated. But 34, and you have to watch all of them to know and get all of the jokes. And not even just Marvel.
It's not just that. It's Fantastic Four, X-Men, Blade. That's not part of the same thing.
Absurd.
You forgot about the TV shows. How are you going to know who the TVA is if you haven't watched Loki?
It's so stupid.
And for that joke specifically, not only will you...
That's what I'm saying. You have to do more research.
You have to have known that they feuded on set. Yeah. Yeah.
I think my only counterpoint to that is that if you are not one of the people who like grew up watching that stuff, then you're not the target audience.
That's fair.
For the film.
And I can understand that. And I can give credit to the fact of how long it took for Endgame to be made. That was cool at the time.
Yeah, but then they kept going.
And then they just kept going with it. And I'm tired of it. And I'm not the only one that thinks this.
Yeah.
I am tired of it. I don't want to have to watch every movie and every TV show and go back and then do my own research. This isn't school. Why am I having to write a research paper just to get all the jokes in this specific movie when it's going to keep going?
I need you to write a 5,000 word research paper, double space, Times New Roman, before you can go watch this movie.
Cite your sources.
Exactly. And that is the issue that I have with all of it. Anyways.
Being a Marvel fan's a full-time job, don't you know?
Apparently.
Yeah, it's too much. It's just too much.
Okay, can we be done now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right, we've now reached the almost hour mark. You want to take us home, Armando, with something that you've done, watched, played?
Sure. I'll talk about two things very briefly. I've played a lot of games recently. I haven't finished a lot of games recently, but I just want to mention two of them. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, super popular right now.
Yeah.
Crazy good. I've still got, I think, 3 bosses left to go, and it's all been phenomenal. Minus the fact that I stopped playing because I got to an area that I really hate going through right now. So,
is it Scarlet Rotville?
No, it's not. They're just enemies that you can't stagger. They're impossible to break their guard.
You can't run past them.
You sure can try. Yeah.
So for those that may not know, Elden Ring is a good game for kids, right?
It's amazing for kids. Yeah, it teaches really good life lessons, holds your hand the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah, super easy game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's part of the From Software category. Family? Yeah, family. And they have a pretty cult following at this point, so everybody should know about them and that they're considered very difficult games. And
Dark Souls.
Yeah, Dark Souls. And Elden Ring is probably the easiest of all of the From Software games.
Or can be the easiest.
Can be, yeah. There's just so much accessibility. There's so much stuff. With it being open world, you're not dedicated to going down a certain path and fighting a specific boss. If you don't want to, you can turn around, go somewhere else, come back later. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so much explorability to it. But the Shadow of the Erdtree is super good. All of the bosses, with the exception of one that I've fought at this point, have been really cool and entertaining, and did not make me swear at my monitor while I was playing.
They didn't. They didn't make you?
They didn't. Only one of them did. And I hate him so much. But
it's weird how there will be certain games that don't make you mad but make everybody else mad.
Yeah.
For example, Ori never made me mad, but I know people get super frustrated at it.
Really?
Yeah. But I've heard people say the same thing about Hollow Knight, but I was swearing at Nightmare King Grim more than any other boss in my life when I fought him.
Dang.
But it's just...
When you got mad at Ori.
When
you had to do some of those sequence jumping...
No.
Yes, you got mad.
I've always liked those.
You got frustrated and you got mad.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't remember.
I do.
I think you're remembering me getting mad at some other game.
I don't think so.
Receipts.
You're remembering me getting mad at Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, you
Luigi's
really
Mansion.
There's one level in Luigi's Mansion 3 that the controls are just so shitty. And
you're
that's
having to shoot and it doesn't lock on easily.
And that's the reason why it's hard, is because the controls are bad. And I was just like, this is not good game design. This is not the right way to do difficulty. If your controls are bad, and that's why your game is hard, then that's stupid. And then Micah got mad at me.
It's true.
Fair. I mean, Nintendo games aren't exactly known for having great controls.
Yeah.
So, please don't demonetize them, Nintendo. Thank you.
But come after us.
Yeah. Can't say their name.
But I love Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Are you happy to be reunited with your Donkey Kong game?
Yeah. Micah, do you want to give them the context?
When was that? 2 years ago?
Probably. It's been a long time.
Okay, Braden loves this game. I think we might have talked about it on here. Donkey Kong Country Freeze.
Tropical Freeze.
Yeah. And it's not that fun of a game, but Braden loves this game. And Armando came to visit one time, and Braden was like, yeah, just borrow it. We'll see you in a couple months, at Christmas, or at Thanksgiving or something. Just borrow it and just bring it back. Armando came and visited again, didn't bring it. Armando has visited at least 3 times, and we've seen him at Thanksgiving at least twice.
Yeah, so it's been at least 2 years.
At least 2 years.
Yeah.
And Armando kept being like, well, why didn't you remind me?
Well, it can't have been at least 2 years because I was already living here at that point, and I've only lived here for a little over a year.
No, it's been a while.
No, I think you were living in Vegas.
No way.
I think you were.
Yeah, like we didn't visit, and then you moved or something.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so now it took us coming all the way to Seattle and me reminding both of them of, hey, you need to get this game back.
But I packed it in my duffel. It's back.
And now Braden can feel whole
Backstreet's
again.
back. All right.
All right.
Like it was his long-lost son.
It really was.
Yeah.
It made Braden sad. Everyone's talking, I wish we could play. I don't wish. It's not. I hate the controls.
It's so fun.
Anyways,
The controls are good when you're...
No, I hate the way that it
slides, yeah. But they did that on... It's momentum-based. That's the point.
Okay, can we be done?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody.
Wait, Armando didn't finish.
Oh my gosh, Armando, come on.
Oh my god. Okay, fine. I'll give my rating because I'm not going to spoil this for everybody. But
For Shadow of the Erdtree.
for Shadow of the Erdtree, from what I've played so far, I would give it a 9 mongrel intruders out of 10.
Micah, do you want to be involved? Do you want to say a thing that you read? We're still under an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, because I'm trying to finish that. I've listened to 90 plus hours of this book series.
What is this series?
3 weeks. And I'm not done with the series yet.
What is it?
It's the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. So, I'm almost done. I'm on book 7, maybe, of 8.
Are you almost done with book 7?
Yeah.
Are they long books?
Yeah, this one was like 22 hours. I have 8 hours remaining on this one.
How long are the Brandon Sanderson books? Are they like...
They're like 30
they're
hours
massive.
or something. Let me see. Yeah.
Each one of them is like 500 pages at least, right?
Oh, I think way more than that. Right? Way of Kings. I thought that was on here. That's right there. Yeah, the first book is 45 and a half hours to listen to.
That's too much.
Yeah, that's why I don't listen to long books. It's too overwhelming. It's too much of a commitment. I can't.
I've been
I have commitment issues when it comes to that.
On the plane. I was listening to my audiobook, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, and I was like, I just want to read something else. And I like scrolled down on my downloaded Audible books, and I saw War and Peace, and I was like, am I that desperate? 60 hours long.
Oh.
I wasn't that desperate, it turned out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, have a great week, everybody. If you ever find that if you listen on Spotify or on an Apple podcast and you realize that we didn't release an episode that week, check YouTube, because sometimes we'll only release episodes on YouTube. Special videos.
Yeah, special videos.
Yeah,
not
to
episodes.
replace. Yeah, you've done it to replace episodes.
Yeah, I don't think we've missed a week on YouTube. Like, there's always been something on YouTube.
Right, what did I say?
Anyway.
So there's always something on YouTube.
Right.
In case you didn't catch that.
So
there's always money in the banana stand.
Exactly. Braden has released a few different special episodes or special videos on YouTube. So if you're just listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, definitely go check those out on YouTube. And all of our socials and everything is just This Is Reviewable.
And Mike is doing a special episode too soon.
Yeah, we'll see.
This is me putting pressure on you to actually get it done.
Anyways, have a great week, everybody. Bye.